y'all, Cy here! This is our entrance to our shop, and we have this really loose gravelly stuff. And so we thought it'd be really good if we poured a little pad right there. And then I thought it'd be really cool too if I could put my compass in there. So husband set the forms and got everything ready to pour the pad. Okay, I am wanting to put my compass I made so long ago into the concrete pad. So I cut out a board to match it so that we can put this in and then pop it out and put that in. So I'm just going to cover this with wax paper so that we can get it out easier. That's what we're thinking anyway. I wrapped it a few times and taped it loosely. Husband was getting ready for mixing. He put some water in the wheelbarrow, then added the bags of cement. Then I came out and added water as needed. Then he poured the first load into the forms and I scraped the remainder out.
You want me to scrape it out? It has to be perfect. That's most of it. Okay. Yep, good. Okay, come over and start putting water in there again. Okay.
Then we did it again, and the 2 loads was all it took, which was a total of 4 bags of cement. We moved it all around to fill in the spaces, and then we screeded it. Husband took off some more excess and smoothed it again. Then we put the spacer board for the compass in place, and it needed to go level with the concrete, so husband wiggled it down.
All the way to the very tippy top of it. Yeah, I know. Okay. Want me to stand on it?
And then he removed the excess that it pushed up.
Okay, stand on it.
And then I stood on it and moved around trying to get it to go deeper.
Yep, just like that. Think that's good? I don't know, we'll find out. If I can get off it.
And when husband screeded it again, it still wasn't deep enough.
Quite. Oh, really?
So he got on it and stomped it down some more. And then it was level and he was able to screed right over the top.
That's okay. Because it's underneath, right? Yeah.
I didn't expect for the wax paper to come off so easily, but I also didn't know how we were going to do this exactly. So it got messy, but not too bad. And the wax paper underneath stayed in place, and that was what we wanted. So husband smoothed up everything again. And I used the edger once it had set up for a few minutes. Then husband added a nice brush finish to it, and we were all done with this part. And now we had to let it set up. I did wash the concrete off of Wally's paws. The next day, husband removed the forms and the spacer board. The wax paper and tape stuck there pretty good, so I worked on cleaning it up and getting it ready for the compass. Gibbs checked it out but didn't leave any paw prints like Wally did. I had to chisel some of the cement circle and trim some of the compass to get it to fit in there, But it didn't take long and it was sitting flat. I marked a spot so I could line things up again. Wally and Gibbs were both very curious about what I was doing. I had a bag of thinset, so I mixed that up because the pre-mixed stuff I just didn't have enough. Then I lined the area of the concrete with the thinset. And then set the compass in. Then I filled the voids around the compass with the thinset, and I wasn't sure how that would look later, but I think it looks okay. I tried to smooth it so it would blend better with the surrounding concrete, and used a glove to remove the thick excess around the edges and tried to mimic that brush finish. Okay, I put some boards around it to protect it so nobody would walk on it. It's got to set up for, it says, at least 4 hours. And so I probably won't get to it until next week. Cool. When the next week came, I was excited to get grouting. I removed the tile tape that had been on there for 1 year and 7 months. It came off clean and didn't leave any residue. It is awesome stuff for doing mosaics. I cleaned up some dried, overflowing thinset and got a visit by Wally. A few of the tiles did come loose, so I cemented those back on. And Gibbs also had to see what I was doing. And now I had to wait for those re-cemented tiles to set. And finally, it was time to start grouting. It was a warm 82 degrees for a late September day, and I started by wetting everything down. Then added some unsanded grout all over the top. I used my little float to spread it all over and down in between the tiles. Then wiped off a lot of the excess right away. I also smoothed everything up all around the outside. Then after that set for about 15 minutes, I wiped off some more excess. Wally was watching pretty closely. Then after another 30 minutes, I removed the haze with a rag. Mosaic's all in now, and I'm going to let it set for another 24 to 48 hours, and then I'll put a sealer over the top of it. And this right here points due north. This was the very first glass tile mosaic I ever did, and that was in February of 2017. And now it's finally in its place with the grout and all that, so yay. That just took a while to figure out where it was going to go. And on the pad here, if you can see, it's not centered, and that's my fault because while husband was putting it on there, he was saying, is it centered? Is it centered? Is it centered? And I said, yes, yes, yes. And it wasn't. So oops for that. Oh well.
Tell me if that looks about right.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of fun getting this mosaic in place. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and we'll just see you next time. Bye!